between us and him. And Minister of Culture, Miri Regev, you spoke very beautifully about the two theaters. And I want to tell you very openly and personally.
Here in New York.
Here in New York, yes. And it's strange for me that I have to talk to you in English, which is not our mother tongue, and yet, in order to respect the guests, I will say it in English. The theater and art are so important for our society and should be taken care and nourished in the most delicate way. You know, I sometimes think that like a person who lost one of his senses, for example, someone who is unable to see, who becomes blind, he develops the sense of hearing. So is Israel, because we are so stuck, because we are so blocked, because we are totally unable to move from our predicament and to change it, paralyzed in such a tragic way. Israel developed the kind of a metaphoric organ, which is the art. It's the literature and the movie and the theater. And sometimes you demand from the people of culture, people of art, you demand them loyalty. And I think it is wrong. You cannot demand it from artists. You cannot demand loyalty, and especially not in the sense of being loyal to the platform of a party. Artists are loyal in a deep way to the culture, to the heritage of their people, because they insist on nuances, and they insist on complexity, and they insist on the other way to look at reality, and they dwell in the cracks and in the hesitations and in the question marks. This is our place. We should be there. It's good for the state. It's good for the well-being of people in Israel to remind all of us that the political reality is sometimes too narrow and too flat to comprehend all the complexity of our life. It is important that you, as a Minister of Culture, will support, will allow all the possible space for artists without any threat, without any censoring. To allow us to do what we know to do best, which is to portray a multi-layered picture with all the inner contradiction and with all the hesitations that we all have. And yet, by doing so, we are loyal, and this word is suspicious to me because it has been so misused by the latest regime. But we are able to be loyal in the deepest way to the great story, the really great story of Israel, which I regard as one of the most heroic stories among the human stories of history, the homecoming of the Jewish people to his own land. And it is your job, Miri Regev, to narrate